Hello and welcome to Facebook Live Friday. I'm Helen Iwata of Sasaga Communications, and I'm here to help you create communication habits for success and happiness in global business. I'm laughing a little bit because I'm recording this and streaming this from home, and my husband's leaving for work a little bit late today, and he just came in the door. He's like, hello and welcome to Facebook Live. So having a little bit of a laugh. So today, our topic is how to feel confident on conference calls. We've been talking so far about how to overcome nerves when giving presentations, how to get people to speak up in meetings, how to get people to shut up in meetings so that other people can speak up. And now this other topic that people often struggle with is conference calls. So there are multiple reasons why conference calls are a challenge, because there are the technical problems, there are the time zone difficulties, and also a lot of people lack confidence to speak up on conference calls, especially if you are speaking in your non-native language. And I can see people joining. Thank you so much. And I love to see the little thumbs up and the hearts going past. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Whether you're joining live or watching the recording of this, thank you very much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. So as usual today, I will follow the structure of first talking about tips. I'll be sharing 3 tips to help you feel more confident on conference calls. And then I will have a Q&A time where I'll be welcoming your questions for the people who are here live. Feel free to type in a question or a comment. Anything's fine at any time as I'm talking, and I'll look at those comments a little bit later on. I'll also be talking about something special for people who have bought this book. Can you see where I'm pointing? This book, which I mentioned last week. So I'll be mentioning that too a little bit later on. But first, and hello, Oka-san, great to see you here. I can sometimes see the names of some people. I know we have a number of people on the call. Thank you for joining live. It's wonderful. So, are you ready? Tip number 1, prepare. Often we forget to do this for conference calls, and it's something that is quite simple. It is really worth taking the time to prepare. What is the call about? What can you say on that call? And even if you don't have some information to share, maybe you have some questions that you could ask. And if you can think of those questions in advance, it makes it much easier for you to speak up and to feel more confident about it. Also find out who else is going to be on the call, because maybe there's someone that you want to ask for some information. And whenever you speak up on a call, it helps to build your presence. So prepare, write it down, and you may even want to rehearse. So I would even say you could write a script for yourself of what you want to say. When I talk about presentation skills in person, I say don't write a script, because if you have a script, you're in your head, you're thinking, and it's difficult to connect with the audience. But if you're on a conference call, usually people can't see you. So you can have your notes and you can read them out. And especially if you've practiced a few times in advance, you can read it more smoothly. So this is a really useful tip, I would say, is to prepare, write it down, and rehearse. That will help you to feel more confident. Tip number 2. Speak early. So there's a fantastic video that you can find on the internet. It's called A Conference Call in Real Life. And it has this great scene where there is one person who you just see at the very end of the sketch that he was on the call the whole time, but he never spoke up, and so nobody knew that he was there. So to avoid that, speak early. Also, if you delay speaking, you may think, oh, I'm so nervous, I don't want to speak. If you delay that, you're putting pressure on yourself the whole time. And you're probably not even listening properly to what the other people are saying. So you're not able to contribute to the call anyway. That is mottainai. It's a waste. So speak up early. there's more opportunity to talk about topics. For example, if you talk later and somebody else has already talked about the thing you wanted to talk about, then you've lost your opportunity. So speak up early. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yay, love it. Please feel free to click the thumbs, click the hearts. It's wonderful. Speak up early, and then you can relax. You've done a little bit there. You've taken that step out of your comfort zone. You can relax and you can listen to the conference call. You can maybe even speak up again. Take another step out of your comfort zone. Speaking up early is really, really important. And tip number 3. This one may seem a little bit strange when you think about conference calls and maybe you can't see each other, but use body language. So if you think about it, when you are speaking in Japanese, if you are Japanese and you're on a phone and you're going, hi, hi, and you do bow, right? So it is natural to use body language. And when you are speaking on a conference call, for example, think about your posture. If you sit up more, it's easier for the oxygen to flow. It helps with the quality of your voice, with your voice tone. Also, smile as you're talking, especially if it's good news that you're talking about. The smile will affect the tone of your voice, and often people can hear that. Also, you can use gestures, because using gestures helps you to release any nervous energy. And it's not just that this impacts the other people who are hearing you, but it impacts you too. There's a great TED Talk by Amy Cuddy, where she talks about how our body language not only affects other people, but it also affects us. So if we are hunched over, we don't feel so confident, but if we open up, we feel much more confident. So think about your posture on your conference call and sit up. And if you have this kind of phone, or often it's one of those on the desk type of phone situations, or from your computer, whatever it is, you can sit up, think about your posture, and you can feel more confident. So those are the 3 tips. First of all, prepare, speak early, and use body language. So I'm going to take a moment to say hello to people whose names I can see who joined. Thank you. Otsuka-san, Endo-san, great to see you here. I'm just having a little look through. Fantastic, good. What happened? There we go. Ooh, I just kind of changed my my darkness there. Ooh, I wonder if it came across at your side too. So feel free to put comments in. The people who are joining live, thank you. Any questions that you have, you can pop them in Japanese. Nihongo de mo daijoubu desu yo. And I will then answer those questions in a moment. But first of all, I wanted to tell you about something special for people who have already bought Eigo no Shigoto Jutsu, as well as for anybody who buys Eigo no Shigoto Jutsu before December 23rd. So I've talked today about 3 tips for conference calls. I talk about 22 tips for conference calls in this book. I also talk about listening and questioning, presentation skills, facilitation skills, and dealing with conflict. These are all skills that are helpful in the global workplace. And even though it's Eigo no Shigoto Jutsu, a lot of people tell me that this book is useful no matter what the language. It's about communication skills. So if you are feeling that over 2016, maybe you didn't communicate quite as well as you could have at work, or maybe you're not really reaching your potential, perhaps there's something you could do. Well, how about over the new year, and I'm talking especially to people in Japan here, get your kotatsu, get your mikan, have a nice relax and refresh, and read your copy of Eigo no Shigoto Jutsu so that you can feel really well prepared to go into 2017 and really make a difference. So something that's special for people who are buying the book by December 23rd is that I'm going to run a complimentary special webinar for people who've bought the book. This will be held on January 21st from 10 o'clock. That's a Saturday, so I hope it's something that you can join. And all you need to do is buy the book, send me an email at helen@sasugacommunications.com. That's helen@sasugacommunications.com. Tell me you've bought the book and I will sign you up for this complimentary special webinar. What are we going to be doing on the webinar? Well, I want to tailor it and make it really useful to the people who show up on that webinar. So in early January, I will put out a poll, find out what people are most interested in those communication tips, and I will create a training based on that, especially for the people who are joining. And of course, I will be open to Q&A at the time as well. So I hope you can take that opportunity. And I can see why. Okay, I can see a comment here from Alan. He says, is there some reason why Eigo no Shigoto Jutsu is mirrored backwards? It's probably just to do with the way that Facebook Live is showing this to you, and maybe I am mirrored backwards as well in some kind of strange way. I'm not sure, but I can assure you that on the copy of the book, the writing is the right way around. And you can get one yourself and have a look, because I know that you read Japanese. Thank you for your comment, Alan, and great to see you here as well. So any other comments from people who are on the call? And please feel free to type in. I know sometimes if you're joining during your commute that it's a little bit tricky to write. People who are watching the video of this, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. You can type in the comments on the Sasuga Communications Facebook page as well, and I will be checking those. I'm happy to answer questions there as well. I'm going to do a quick time check, welcoming you to write more comments or questions while I do that and take a sip of water. It is 8:42 in Japan, and here's my usual sip of water. Good morning, Rob. Great to see you there. So we're just at the point of, I've talked through the 3 tips and we're seeing if anyone has any questions or comments. And if not, I will be signing off very, very soon. So to do a quick recap, the tips I shared with you today to help you feel confident on conference calls are: 1, prepare; 2, speak early; and 3, use body language. And don't forget, if you've already bought or if you are going to buy Eigo no Shigoto Jutsu, let me know by December 23rd and you can get your place on this special complimentary webinar for people who have the book. Okay, I am going to say goodbye. Thank you so much. Maybe I'm going to eat the mikan. Bye.